In the words of William Shakespeare, assuming he was a real guy and not a collection of abstract and unnamed authors, all the world's a stage and all the men and women are merely players. And yeah, it's kind of the case. We do live in a world of performances, constant performances. We're not really ourselves when we're around other people. We're playing a part. We're playing the character of ourselves in a social setting. And I think to some degree we all feel this way, at least some of the time. We have a different self for our parents or for our friends or the rest of our family or the general public. When I was working technical support, customer service over the phone, well, I had a customer service voice, a telephone customer service voice. Thank you for calling company name technical support. My name is Eric and it's my goal to provide you with outstanding customer service. May I please first of all have your DSL telephone number starting with the area code? Every day, all day, oh my goodness. It's a rather substantial expenditure of energy, and, well, the fake persona didn't end off the phone either. I never really felt comfortable there, I never really felt like myself there, and so I was always playing a character, whether it be the character that I played on the phone, where sometimes people would actually type in their phone number because they thought I was a robot, or the person that's not on the phone, the overly charming, overly friendly, chipper, happy-go-lucky, positive guy. I play that part well, and I'm a pretty good actor. Like, I do well at this, and it's a coping mechanism, because a lot of the time I don't feel well. I don't feel good. I feel depressed most of the time. I feel sad or anxious or just mopey. And to just make it in the world, to get through the day, to get through my daily affairs, I gotta play a character, I gotta play a part. And I don't think I'm alone in that, because I've talked to a lot of other people who have the same issues, who use the same coping mechanisms. Oftentimes, the more chipper and friendly I seem on the outside, the bigger my smile, the worse I actually feel on the inside. This has a lot to do with this, like, cult of positivity in our current culture, where we walk around saying, hey, how are you? How are you? How are you? Most people that say that don't really even mean it, but if one takes the meaning of the question literally, the answer you have to give, the answer that's expected of you is, good, how are you? And even if you're not good, even if you also don't care how the other person is, that's the expected answer. It's like, hi, hi. But somehow it's entered our collective cultural lexicon that this is how we greet one another. And it generates this expectation, this positivity expectation that we're all having an okay day, having a good day. We're just, everything's peachy keen, everything's going great. But most of us aren't having a good time. We're not really, like, humans don't maintain a level of happiness. We don't exist in a state of constant satisfaction, because if we did, we wouldn't get out of bed. We wouldn't do anything. We wouldn't make any moves to make our lives better. We wouldn't even eat if we were constantly satisfied, because, well, we wouldn't need to eat if we were constantly satisfied. So we would just, keel over and die. Perfectly satisfied, but we'd be dead nonetheless. But this society, this cultural norm about being constantly positive, constantly satisfied, well, it has the fake it till you make it influence, that drive to just continue to maintain this air of positivity and just go get it spirit and keep doing your job, keep working, keep selling your time to the man, that sort of thing. And that's how we're expected to operate. It's hugely detrimental to our collective mental health. It means we can't honestly actually talk about when we're having issues. And, like, I'm not expecting to run into somebody on the street and gush about my personal issues or how I'm feeling or whatever else, but I am expecting genuinity if the question is actually being asked. When I ask somebody how they're doing, I actually want to know. I really do want to know. If you're having a problem, if you're not feeling well, tell me that. Don't just pretend that you're okay. 'Cause I can tell. I can tell when you're lying to me in that way. And I don't really want to be lied to. It's okay if you're not feeling okay. And it's okay if you don't want to talk about it too. Because I won't press the issue because I respect that. I don't often want to talk about what's bothering me either. But if you don't really want to know, don't ask. Irving Goffman refers to this as impression management. There's a process by which you modify your behaviors and control how much information you convey when you're interacting with other people in order to modify the way that they're perceiving you. So this involves trying to put yourself in their shoes and then trying to see yourself through their eyes. It's kind of a special case as well of the mirror self, the looking glass self. Basically, you're constructed in other people's eyes. There is no real you. Your social self is the combination of all the people that you interact with, all the people that you know, all of the different impressions that you have. That's what makes up you. There's a series of masks that you wear, a series of impressions that you present to people. You're playing different parts of a team in different situations in order to be a whole person. Now, this has kind of been sent into overdrive of late. The shift to this like attention economy and the online persona sphere where we're all on the social media. We all have our own social media personae, and those social media personae don't often match really who we are or what we are. There's a curated self that we convey to the world. It's made up of all the exciting and positive and share-worthy events of your life and the way that you convey yourself. Nobody's really going to post that they're just having an okay day. They're going to post the stuff that they're really excited about. Hey, I got a new car, or hey, look at this amazing meal that I made, or hey, look at myself and my partner, look how in love we are, and all the other stuff, all the benign stuff, the banal stuff that fills the rest of one's hours. Well, that's not really social media worthy, so you don't really see that. But then we're all seeing these curated versions of each other on the social media, and we think that our lives aren't quite as exciting because we're seeing all these exciting moments of people's lives. And so then we start feeling bad about that, and then we start wanting to have more share-worthy lives and starting to feel inadequate because, well, we can't keep up with the Instagram influencers or our favorite YouTube personalities. Ugh. We end up doing a lot of self-monitoring, self-censoring, self-shaping, self-suppression when we're in this realm. When we're stuck in a world where we feel like we need to make the best impression possible 100% of the time, well, it's somewhat diminishing of one's sense of a genuine self when one can't actually be oneself. When, oftentimes people feel like they're weird the way that they are, and so they try to hide that weirdness from the rest of the world. But the secret is we're all kind of weird. We all do weird shit sometimes, and don't feel weird about your weirdness because we're all kind of weird. And not only is this impression management process harmful to other people, but it's harmful to ourselves. It's harmful to us to feel like we're on all the time, because that same happy-go-lucky and or friendly customer service voice that I was doing when I was working customer service, well, it's exhausting. I would come home at the end of the day and I would not be able to interact with anyone because I've done all that social labor. And given how many people, what share of the economy, and especially people my age and lower, are working these customer service jobs, whether it be on the phone or in retail or just some other bureaucratic job, it's draining overall to our society. We have very little social energy left for genuine human interaction when not only are we working socially interacting jobs, selling our social labor for profit, but also we're selling our social labor to the social media machine. The companies that own these corporations, they're making a lot of money by our impressions being conveyed in this way. They're selling advertisements, and we are becoming advertisements ourselves. I used to think of myself as an introvert, like an extreme introvert, because I found basically all social situations to be just exhausting, draining, and so I felt better when I was by myself. But later I realized I'm not really an introvert at all. I'm actually kind of an extrovert. In fact, probably mostly an extrovert. But it's the specific social situations that fill me with energy or drain me. If it's a genuine social situation, a situation where I know I can be myself, I know I can be genuine with someone, there's no energy expenditure involved. I feel perfectly okay, perfectly happy just continuing to be myself. But the thicker the mask I have to wear, the more of a performance I have to put on, well, the more draining it becomes. Ironically, though, when I'm actually like on stage performing in a murder mystery or something like that, I find that that's really enriching. Like at the time, at the moment, I feel really energized. But yeah, the day after, I always plan for a crash because there goes all my social energy. I'll see you in a couple of days. That's peace out. Anyway, you may have noticed that this is a little scattered and meandering. Well, it's because I'm having a really bad day. Anyway, thanks for sticking with it. Thanks for enjoying my content. And if you did, algorithmic stuff. Hey, hey. See you tomorrow.